It's the Northstars Show, episode 14 of season 5. We quite honestly didn't think we'd make it all the way for 14 episodes. I thought we'd be canceled a long time ago. I'm Krentz. I try to kind of keep things together on camera, off camera, a guy that once had to clear up his tab 3 times at Boston Pizza in one night. Our executive producer, talent booker, and cameraman, Paul Anderson right there. Glad to have him along. He's really the glue that holds this whole show together. I brought the coat this week. We haven't had the coat for 2 weeks, so I'm feeling pretty excited about that. Underneath the coat this week, Maui. I went to Hawaii.
Nice.
Went to Maui. It was awesome. If you ever get a chance, slip on down there. It's a cool thing. It's cold in here, though. I want to put the coat on. Justin Nachbar's joining me here. Can you tell us what happened here on the weekend? A couple of losses, but kind of talk us through the games a little bit.
First game, I think we should have battled way harder in the first and the second, and third period actually had a pretty decent game. And the second game was actually way better than the first. We are losing 4-1 and we battled back 5-4, and we just ran out of the gas in the third period.
Treymian Trout had a heck of a weekend, put up the hat trick in the first game and showed up in the second game as well. He looked pretty good, eh?
Yeah. He's lucky he's on my line.
Two of you guys had some good chem, and then Laycock and all of those guys showed up in the second game and put up some pretty good numbers too, I thought.
Yeah, Laycock's really being a big leader for us, and he's really a big spark plug to our team, scoring us and producing energy.
It's hard to believe because you see him off the ice. There isn't a whole heck of a lot to him, but he absolutely is a spark plug. Things got a little crazy at the end of the second game too. I think everybody got a little bit tired of the score and a little bit fatigued and stuff like that too. Any thoughts on that?
No comment.
I love it. That's what happened on the weekend. The scores were 7-3 for the Thrashers and then 11-5 for the Thrashers on the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for telling us what just happened here. Still to come on the show, we talked to 3 guys who are leaving the Northstars this year. So Laycock, Lutz, and Paulic. We're going to do a 1-minute segment with them. We've got Treymian Trout on 1 minute, talking about all kinds of things, from him being a back catcher back in Cross Lake to what his plans are for next year. And right away we do a Northstar Extra. We talk to Coach Doug and Jim Berezowsky, the coach of the Winnipeg Thrashers. Got the two of them together. They're old friends. They played hockey together, and really nice interview talking to them about some of the old times and some of the new. This is the Northstar Show. Here we go. Northstar Extra. We haven't really done a segment like this year, but we thought we'd come across an opportunity to do something I think really interesting and sort of, maybe it's not innovative, but pretty neat situation for us. So Jim Berezowsky's joining us. He's the coach of the Winnipeg Thrashers. And we've got Doug Korman, coach of the Northstars. You don't have a cool coat like Jim, but you look fantastic, Doug. So not often do we get 2 coaches from opposing teams who I think could sit down in a dressing room and have a civil conversation somewhere in the middle of a competitive weekend, but you guys have been friends and teammates longer than you've been rivals, I think, as a couple of coaches. So thanks for sitting down and doing this and giving us a few thoughts, I think, on where hockey's happening in the AAA League this year and sort of on a broader perspective. So first and foremost, let's kick it off. You guys played together, I think you played together with the Wings probably, with the Hawks, King Miners too?
No, Doug was actually a few years older and probably a much more talented hockey player than I was. So I saw Dougie on the street as a kid. We lived not even a half a block away from each other on Partridge Crescent. And then I saw Dougie playing as a young King Miner, and then he went off to the Regina Pats. When he came back, that's when I got an opportunity to play with him on the Hawks, as like he had said, as a defensive partner. And then once we're all retired and having the good times with the Wings.
Perfect. And Doug, obviously we said you played a little bit with Jim. What kind of thoughts do you have? What kind of style does Jim have? Similar to his coaching style when he's out on the ice playing?
Fortunately for Jim, he's got a lot of talent to work with, and I think as a player, Jim probably didn't have that talent per se, but Jim was a lunchbox type of hockey player. He brought hard work to the rink when he played, But that's something I think works well when you have the talent and you've got somebody pushing kids to work hard every time they show up at the rink. So it's a good combination, and that works well. So I think that's a big part of Jim's success.
Super. We'll give you a chance just to throw your thoughts back on Doug's playing style, similar to his coaching style, not a wilting flower?
Oh, definitely not. Doug, as you've seen for the last probably 20 years here in the city of Thompson, Doug brings a lot of passion to the game, and he played a very heads-up style of hockey. So Doug saw the game very well, in fact, better than most players, and that's what allowed him to have a pretty solid career. What he brings back to this team is that level of discipline, and when Doug talks about talented players and that, over the years Doug has had some talented guys, and they have had success here. When you go back with kids like Stefan Chernesky and that, in the last few years it's been tough, but the thing that I'm most impressed about with the Northstars Hockey Club is the level of discipline that he appears to be able to maintain. And like he's talked about, on a hockey club that right now isn't in a playoff run, but has some goals set aside for the end of the season to pass teams like Pembina Valley and Interlake.
And it's been a few years since we've had a really successful season here in Thompson, and I'm kind of curious to hear from both of you what your thoughts are on the Norman League right now. And it seems that the top teams are at the top, and there's some other teams that struggle a little bit year after year. And do you think that's a function of the way the league's set up, that's something happening in Manitoba, or do you think it's just sort of a cyclical thing and that our time will come?
Oh, I think, I would hope, say for the Northstars, the time would come. It goes in waves. You have good years and you have some years you struggle. But I think if you just look at Flim Flon, talking to Mike Kuczynski was in here yesterday visiting and had a chance to catch up with him. Population in Flim Flon is under 5,000 people now. Where are we getting hockey players from? These communities in the north seems to be struggling a little bit for hockey players. They get to a certain age and they kind of fall to the wayside. I know here in Thompson we got a Pee-wee team that has 7 road trips this year. That blows me away when I think that's as many as the Northstars have. When you got 12-year-old kids, when they get to the 15, 16 years old, that excitement about playing for the Northstars and getting on a bus and staying in a hotel, been there, done that, Mom. It's not a big passion anymore. So I don't know, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, population-wise, talent-wise, how things are going. But I got to hope that things will come around and we get our kids. We got kids that played for the Northstars that are having kids. So let's hope that some of the life lessons or the passion that they had when they played for the Northstars, they push that down onto their kids, and I think it'll come around. Just got to be patient.
Or a UFO could come and drop us off some kids. Your thoughts on that?
Well, to echo what Doug had said, it's the numbers are dwindling in the sport of hockey. There's so many opportunities today for today's kids outside of that game that it's becoming more and more difficult to attract them. But to what Doug said about the fact that by the time they get to the elite program like the Provincial Midget Loop, where you should be establishing your focus and direction to play at a higher level, they have been there and done that, like Doug said, and it's almost like they're out of gas. And I think we're pushing too much at an early age when it comes to the amount of hockey that kids are playing today. And I know it seems to be, or appears to be, getting more and more with summer hockey programs. More and more athletes are going that direction, and they're chasing, the opportunity to make teams. And if they don't play summer hockey, they appear that they're going to be cut short early on. And somewhere along the line, we've got to regroup here and allow kids to develop their skills with some of their own time, which is what happened when we were younger, and not have so much organized structure at such a very young age. In Winnipeg, I can tell you that I'm seeing every day at the rink 4- and 5-year-old summer hockey teams, and it's not only alarming, it's actually it's almost sickening to see that at such a young age, when kids should just be learning to develop basic skills and not worried about what kind of forecheck they're playing and whether they can execute a neutral zone trap at 5 years old. So something has to change there, and I don't really have the answer as to how that will happen.
I think it's tricky, and it's hard for me, and I'm a parent of a hockey player as well. It's hard to ever get the message through, I think, to people that because your kid is really good when they're 5 doesn't mean they're going to be really good when they're 15. And even if you're not maybe the best player on your team when you're 12, you might be the best player when you're 18. And I'm sure you've seen some of that, Doug.
I think if I look over the years, even to date, the best hockey players are the best athletes. I got kids on the Northstars that can't throw a baseball. Seriously, they throw it like a girl, and nothing against girls, believe me, but I have a daughter, but that's truth. They don't know how to play. They don't know the rules of a baseball game. They don't know how to golf. There's a lot of sports that their main focus is hockey, and the best athletes, I find, are the ones that play other sports, and I see less and less of that nowadays.
Yeah, it does seem like kids are specializing early, and I think playing a little bit less. I know the phys ed teachers that we talk to sometimes are disappointed too with the kids that end up at the high school not having a lot of those basic skills. You talked about kids doing lots of road trips from up north, Doug. I'd be curious to hear what the kids from Winnipeg think of a trip up to Thompson. You guys, I think, travel maybe more often than the kids from here, but an 8-hour bus ride probably doesn't happen very often for you. Are the guys excited about it? Are they worried about coming this far north? Are they afraid we don't have a Tim Hortons? What's the feel when you get on that bus for a Thompson trip?
Well, the biggest thing is that if you have veterans on the team, as to which we do, they've been up here. We've had 5 guys that have been up here, in the last year. So they tell their stories about coming to Thompson, and if it's a positive or negative experience, they talk very highly of the fan base that you have here and a bit of passion that they have in the stands. We were fortunate enough yesterday to stop and take a quick tour of Pichu Falls with the kids. And, you always think, okay, kids, it's not a video game or it's not a social media feed, what's the value? But I saw the boys really enjoyed that, and it's great to see some of the finest scenic parts of nature, like a place like Pichu Falls. So they're pretty pumped about that, and I was happy to be a part of, allowing them to see that. So in that respect, they'll come back with some positive memories about the weekend.
Lucky for them to have a tour guide like you. Just before we wrap it up, I'm not sure how many times you've had a chance to be here in our new facility, but maybe some thoughts on what this looks like, and hopefully a surprise for some of the kids from Winnipeg to see that we do have a pretty good spot here.
Well, yesterday I came in, and it was the first time that I seen the University of the North connected to the CA Nesbitt and the curling rink and that, and I was very impressed. I was kind of a little bit in awe because, again, I'm a kid that left here that was a gravel parking lot, Bruce, and and I walked that gravel parking lot a lot to and from the rink, yes, to Partridge Crescent, and but so in respect to that, I was very impressed to see that there's some development, and most importantly, I believe that we're giving the kids here in the community and surrounding areas an opportunity to further their career, maybe when they haven't yet decided on what they want to do with university. Instead of spending a lot of their parents' money going down south, they can do University 1 here, I believe, and figure those things out. So very impressed with that. I know there is some development issues with the stands and the sight lines that everybody struggles when they build a facility, but for the most part, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing.
Overall, we're really happy with that. We'll leave it with this instead of talking about what's going to happen in the game that's coming up right away. Any thoughts on the old arena? What's your best memory from playing in that big barn, or maybe this one too?
The old barn, we used to jam more people in there. I know 1,500 people crammed hanging off the rafters, and they were in the rafters.
People think it's crazy, and it's not true, but it really was. There was people standing up on that little ledge all the way around.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think the sound was different in the old barn, something, I don't know what it was, but this is a beautiful facility. It's nice. I'm glad we have it. Bill Kamaski always promised me that one day we'd be playing in a new arena, and we are, and I'm sure that's something I know I'm proud of. for the Northstars, for all minor hockey teams, we got a dressing room there. Took Jimmy on a tour of it for these young kids just to be in there and see what it's all about. I'm proud of this complex.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky for us to have the room and the storage room and all of that kind of stuff. Your thoughts on memories from the old barn, or maybe on this one?
Well, the old barn, there's too many. You look at all the Munn Cups from years gone by in the the mid '70s into the early '80s. Quite a few NHLers made their way through Thompson, Manitoba, and those were packed. And then to think back at the Thompson Hawks when they were on their senior hockey run. I can't remember the years, but I was a younger guy in the stands and this place was crazy. And like Doug said, the sound. You talk about home ice advantage. We definitely had it here in Thompson, and then seeing the King Miners in the earlier Manitoba junior days was, as a young kid growing up, you aspired to be a King Miner. That was definitely something that I'd surely love to see you guys get back here, is junior hockey. I know financially it might be an issue, but you're well deserving of that opportunity, and this facility might help and things like that in the future.
Couldn't agree more. I was a kid that came and watched a couple of those junior games, and it was a huge event. It was a pretty impressive thing. Jim and Doug, thanks so much for joining me. This is a pretty cool thing to be able to get a chance to do mid-season. I know we've got one of your other friends, Barry Rempel, is going to be out with the Stripes, so I bet you 20 years ago you guys would have never pictured yourselves.
We've got to end it. It's kind of scandalous, this whole situation. I think people have to know that before Jimmy left Thompson, do you know who Jimmy worked for? Do you know who Jimmy's boss was?
I did. I knew this would help with the ratings. Call TMZ.
Shaw MZ. But, I don't know. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on Barry today and Jimmy if there's any passing money through the palm of the hand or anything. But, no, it's something, I don't know if you want to talk about being proud of, but coaching against Jimmy, having played with him, having Barry part of making the game go around. It's the one thing, common denominators, we all have passion for the game, and Jimmy's got a job to go to Monday morning, so do I, so does Barry. We all do it for the kids, so it's a lot of fun.
Yep, get along off the ice. Absolutely. Barry, I think, helped you to get a little bit of a leg up in the work world. Hopefully he doesn't give you those advantages today.
Yeah, well, he definitely didn't give us those advantages last night, and I saw, going up to the Mary Fensky lounge to talk to many of the good friends up there, and seeing Doug and Barry. I don't know if it was a check, Doug was signing on behalf of the Northstars, but obviously it paid off. I think we had three 5-on-3s against last night, and I talked to Barry about it, and he just he's looking at dollars right now, and so we'll see what happens there. The other thing that's great about coming back here too is when Doug says about Barry and myself and yourself being involved in the community. I come to the rink here last night, and who's operating in the penalty box? It's people like Darcy Delier, and who's running the Mary Fensky Lounge? It's
the Laycock Lounge.
The Laycock Lounge, and yes, they'll probably have to have a dual name down over time. But to see all your friends back and still being a part of the great game of hockey, it means a lot, and it's a lot of why we played the game to begin with. It's all about building those friendships and those relationships for the future, and that's definitely alive and well here. So, and I still want to beat Doug in more than ever today.
No, nobody's giving an inch as soon as this camera goes off. Shaw TMZ, Shaw TV, thanks for joining me, guys. Ever seen a UFO?
The Doug story, and I'll leave it with Doug on that. He can tell that one all he wants. So.
That's a Northstar Show Extra.
You're watching the Northstars Show on Shaw TV.
This is a minor hockey moment, a chance for us to explore all different aspects of the game. Joining me right now, Brady, Evan, and Kelsey, 3 Northstars that are graduating this year. Just kidding, I got Lance Laycock with me, Will Lutz, and Braden Paulic. Unbelievable, boys, that we had Paulic back on the show. After his last performance on the 1 minute, Paul and I had a long talk, and I said, this isn't happening or I'm done, so I'm not exactly sure how this happened, but we're giving you one chance. One chance. You got me? Keep it clean. So these three guys have been playing minor hockey together for an awful long time and now got a chance to play together at the top level here in Thompson on the Northstars, and the year's kind of coming to an end, so we thought we'd like to get you on here and get some of your thoughts on that. Just to start off with, how long have you guys been playing together? Can you do the math on that?
Since novice, so I don't know. I'm not very good at math, but
Neither's Braden.
like 27 years, I think.
27 years all combined. We'll go from when you were 4 years old to 17, so 13 times 3, we'll go with that one. And have you guys played together pretty much on the same team all the way through?
Yeah, usually, well, no, not each year. Usually first year I'd play on the double A's, and they played on the A's together, so I mean I was kind of excluded from the both of them, but their second year I know we had a bunch of fun together, so I always enjoyed those second years.
Got a chance to hang out every second year. Did you guys resent him a little bit for always moving up and ditching out on you, or you knew the fun times were with you?
Well, we just figured we'd rub it in his face anyway and try to have more fun in the lower levels. So I feel like maybe he was getting jealous of us.
Getting ripped a little bit. It's interesting to me, and this is on a little bit of a serious note though, guys, that oftentimes you see somebody that moves up every second year and you see other guys that don't, and here you guys all end up on the Northstars and had a really successful year this year, and I mean it's arguable, no offense to you, but arguable about that you've all ended up at the same spot now that you're 17 years old, so I think that's kind of neat. Just before we talk about where you guys are headed, you've had two brothers that played on the Northstars,
Yeah.
and I think you showed them a thing or two this year.
Yeah, my brother came to watch me yesterday or 2 days ago, and I got a pretty nice goal when he saw that, so that was pretty good.
Nice to rub that in, especially after last year when you tore up the league with only one goal. This year things went a lot better. Things really turned around for you once you got the C. I think I shouldn't say turned around, but you've had a really successful year since you got the C. Did that, feel pretty good for you, and do you think that changed your play a little bit?
Yeah, it just gave me a lot more confidence out there, and I just probably felt like, I don't know, just confidence was a big thing this year.
I think it certainly showed, and the whole group of you got a lot more points, and things really turned around in the second half of the year. And do you think that helped him getting the C, and maybe you guys getting a bit more ice time as the year went on?
Yeah, I definitely know that when Lance got the C, he definitely stepped up and started putting the puck in the net a lot more than last year. Maybe it was the stick or the sock tape, or maybe that we're on a line together. I know that us three played online on this past Sunday, and we had some pretty good scoring chances. I know we buried a couple times, so definitely think that our influences on each other kind of push each other. So yeah.
Yeah, some good chem and some good ice time. Braden, you passed Justin as the all-time Paulic points leader partway through the year here, and things have really gone well for you in the second half of the year. What do you think changed for you? Anything?
I feel like once you get out of a slump, you end up with a lot more confidence, and I felt like that's just kind of what happened to me, and I was able to keep on a tear for a while, and hopefully it keeps going. But yeah, so
Nice. We touched on the fact that you guys played together a lot growing up, a couple of you more than others. Can you give us maybe a favorite memory or something that you look back on and think about a lot?
Just midget double A. We all shared a room together, and Will did some weird stuff, but it was pretty fun. I'm not gonna say what because it'd be inappropriate, but involved him naked. So.
All right, we'll leave it at that. If you're watching this show and you go to Artie Parker, catch him in the hallway and ask him what that was all about. One of your favorite memories, maybe one where you had your clothes on?
I mean, I don't know how many times double A's that happened, but I definitely do remember that was a pretty fun year. But I'd have to say novice double A when Lance was between the posts with his co-host stuff. Yeah, he was goalie and novice, and then I guess he switched because it was unfair to the players. But I probably just a lot of them. I guess I think probably my best is back in the day raising the puck was a pretty big thing. So Lance stopped Miles Bennett's slap shot from the ringette line, and that was a pretty big thing. It's stuck in my mind for 10, 15 years now, so yeah.
Heck of a shot, heck of a stop. Just so you guys know, raising the puck's still a big deal for me, and I think it was for Braden too until partway through this year. Memory from growing up with these guys?
Well, like Lance said, midget double A and even bantam double A were a lot of the times where we got to spark our chemistry, and it was lots of fun. But I think admittedly being a team that never won very often, Pee Wee AA, when we won a AA tournament, that was a big experience in my life. So
Felt pretty good, and it's cool that you still remember that. You guys are all moving off the Northstars, I think, unless you're going to come back with some fake IDs or something like that. So give me an idea what the plans are for the coming year. You guys going to go as a package someplace? You're going to say get an agent and move on, or you go on your separate ways? What's the plans for next year? Hockey or school or whatever you got going on?
My plans are hockey, but I think Will's going to school, and I think Braden's going to live in a van down by the river. So good luck to him.
Where's your first choice? If you could go anywhere next year to play hockey, where would you like to go?
I have no idea. I'd go anywhere just to play at the highest level I could. So, yeah.
I like that. If hockey doesn't work out and you're going to school, go wherever Will goes and cheat off him. School coming up?
Yeah, I was planning on going to the U of M, and because Evan's there right now. I have family there, so I'll still play hockey. Probably not at a very high competitive level.
One step below the Kings, probably.
Or even I guess you can say above, because that's a pretty elite level.
Yeah.
But something around there.
in that zone. What are you taking at school? Do you know yet? Have you been accepted?
I've applied for U1, possibly just switching over to the faculty of science. Just kind of deciding what I want to do right now, but just kind of going with it right now.
Absolutely. Paul is well over 40 and he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. So, no rush on that. Get down there for a year, get the lay of the land, and then go from there. Braden, what you got going on?
Same as Will. I'd probably go to school and play hockey on the side. Maybe competitive hockey still, but I'll see where it takes me, I guess.
Both of you could easily get hooked up with an MMJHL team down there and have some fun. You guys jump on the plane with Braden when he goes to Indonesia too. His dad's paying the bill, so no big deal. Guys, any last thoughts before we wrap this up on the rest of the season or what it was like to be a North Star for the last couple of years?
It was a great experience just to meet all the players that we played with. It was a lot of fun, even though we didn't have the best of seasons, but it's still fun to play high-level hockey, I think.
Absolutely.
Kind of like Lance said, we don't put many W's up on the old on the record, but you have to just enjoy kind of everybody on the team. You have to just the bonding, how everybody's so close, just how many people come to the games, and just the support that we get throughout the season, and how many involved with the community. It's a really great experience, I think, for teenagers to do.
Absolutely.
Same thing. I think it's just a great experience, and you build tons of friendships over the years, and just lasting friendships for years to come, I think. And just to be able to wear have the pride with the logo on your chest, and the way the kids look up to you and stuff, it's just a great experience all around. So
I'm so happy to hear that, and I know Coach Korman would warm his heart, which sometimes I think looks like it's hard to do, but I know that it would warm his heart to hear that hockey's a lot more than just wins and losses for you guys, that it is about friendships that you're going to have for the rest of your lives. Maybe someday you won't want them, Paulic's going to call you in the middle of the night and you'll be like, sorry bro, I don't know who you are. No, I'm just kidding, but you will have friendships for the rest of your life, and it is a lot more than wins and losses. So thanks for joining me. That's a minor hockey moment.
That could change. Nope. We have to always give that the clock a little bit of time to. Oh, one to draw, and it's a goal. Beautiful face-off. And Trout, the North Stars.
Oh, yeah, Kaza.
Kaza comes in, had a
Look
good
at
chance.
this.
There's a goal.
Oh!
And that's it. Trout puts it
What
in.
a goal! Great job, a head man.
Here we go.
There's Trout, the opportunity
He wants
for
his hat trick.
Scored!
Ah, all right, all right.
Trout for Paulic. Well, if there was one highlight out of the thing. It's a pass from Paulic up to Trout there for the hat trick.
1 minute with Treymian and Trout right here on the Northstars Show. You had a dynamite weekend here. The team didn't do so good, but you did. Got 3 goals in one night. Talk us through which one was your favorite one?
Probably right off the draw, Keith won it, and I just took a slap shot and posted in. It was a good goal because I was on a slump, so yeah.
It's true, we haven't seen your name on the goal sheet too much before that. What did you have for a pregame meal?
Nothing really.
Okay, well, next game don't have anything then either.
Yeah.
Season's almost winding up here. Do you have any plans for next year? What are you hoping to do hockey-wise?
Hopefully get into the MJHL, but if not, then I'll just go to OCN or play for my hometown Cross Lake again.
If you keep performing like you did this weekend, I really like your chances.
Yeah.
It's going pretty good. How have you enjoyed the year so far? I mean, the team hasn't had a lot of success, but it seems like you guys have a lot of fun in and around the game and on the bus and stuff like that. Has it been a good year for you?
Start of the year was pretty boring, but it got fun 2 months in maybe, I guess. Yeah. The team started bonding together and having a good time.
A few laughs. I'll put you on the spot just a little bit. What's one of the favorite things that you've done this year off of the ice, outside of the ice? Some of the activities, joking around with the guys?
Probably playing Monopoly, I guess.
Wild and crazy bunch of guys. I like it. Coach would be happy if that's all you guys ever did on the weekends in your off time, I'm sure. You guys are practicing soon, but do you have 1 minute?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't seen these before, and neither of you. What's your favorite class?
Probably math class with Miss Krentz.
There we go. We're getting somewhere. You're not going to pull a Paulic on me, though, are you? This could turn ugly. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Which of your teammates is always late?
Justin Akbar. Getting him back.
Well done. Carrying just a little chip on your shoulder. Nothing wrong with that. What summer activity do you like doing out in Cross Lake?
Baseball for sure.
Big Cross Lake place. What position do you play?
Left wing.
No, at baseball I meant. Sorry.
I'm a catcher.
Really? Hard on the knees, but lots of action when you're the catcher. I like it. How long does it take you to get ready for a game?
Probably like 10 minutes, 15.
That's it?
Yeah, I like to think about the game and then just dress up.
Throw the stuff on and then get ready right before the game. You're not one of those guys that gets his stuff on 2 hours ahead of time and roams around the room and takes the stick.
No, that's not me.
10 minutes, that's it. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A lawyer.
You could still make it.
Yeah.
Thinking about that maybe? Going to school, become a lawyer?
Possibly, yeah.
Have you ever considered a TV host on Shaw?
No, not really.
I didn't realize that's what I wanted to be when I grew up until now, but I kind of enjoy it. Any brothers or sisters?
I got 1 brother and 2 sisters.
Any of them play hockey?
My older brother plays hockey and the other 2 just quit hockey.
So you're the lone hope for the family?
Yeah, I guess so.
If I handed you $10,000 right now, what would you spend it on?
I'd probably give the rest of, most of it to my family, my parents actually, and probably just buy myself some new hockey equipment. Yeah.
It's a great answer. I might encourage you to use it to go to lawyer school, but then you said you'd give it to your family, so I'd look like a schmuck. Good answer.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Pancakes for sure.
Love it. Lots of syrup and butter, or more straight up for you?
Lots of syrup.
Would you rather watch TV or listen to music?
Listen to music for sure.
Right. We can hang out. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
What's your favorite movie?
Probably Blindside. The Blindside.
Oh, something new. Very good. Last one. Who's a faster skater, you or Justin?
Probably me.
You.
Or probably me backwards too. Even yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
Take them forwards and backwards. I like that. Maybe sometime when we're here before practice, we could have you guys do a race.
Yeah, for sure.
Special Northstars Show extra. That's 1 minute with Treymian and Trout.
How's my hair? Hi, I'm Tristan Glarno for your Norman Northstars. I'm number 16. I play center. My hometown's Flin Flon, Manitoba. I went to Eton School. My favorite player is Mark Messier.
Yes, he is.
That's the Northstars Show, episode 14 of season 5. Thanks for joining us, especially to our viewers in Flin Flon and the Paw, checking us out here on Shaw TV, and everybody who catches this show on YouTube. I want to thank Doug Korman and Jim Berezowsky, the coach of the Winnipeg Thrashers. What a great talk with them. Two old friends getting together that are rivals now, and pretty good, healthy competition between the two of them. Treymian Trout, 1 minute with him was a lot of fun. The three guys that grew up here in Thompson that are leaving, Lance Laycock, Will Lutz, and Braden, Paulic. Dynamite minor hockey moment with them, sort of some of their thoughts on what it's like to be a North Star and to move on. Really, really impressive stuff out of them. Coming up this weekend, we've got the Bantam Wolves are playing here in town, and the girls, the Wild team, are here as well. Check the screen for times, and come on down to the C.A. Nesbitt Arena. Come check out some of that hockey. I want to throw a little shout out to a few of the guys that are on the Bantam Wolves and the class from the high school. So the grade 9 hockey class had a game today against some of their teachers and a couple of the parents. It was a lot of fun here in the afternoon. So shout out to those boys. They did really well. And in case you missed it, Monica Gould made a cameo appearance on the show a couple weeks ago. She's a morning news person down at CHTM. It was just her and I in the stand. So look back on that. That was episode 12. From all of us here at the Northstar Show, we'll catch you in 1 week, when we will have Tony Marcus, a guy that's used this machine many, many times right here on the show. Thanks for watching.